Minute. Hey, you're live on the Paul Pluta channel, and today I got my favorite YouTube celebrity. We've got Tan Zeal here. How are you, Tan?
I'm good. How are you this morning?
Hey, I am fantastic. And I gotta tell you, Tan, you don't realize you've changed my life.
Hopefully for the better. Hopefully not for the worse.
Yeah, no, you're a cool guy, Tan. I love having you on there, and I just want to have a quick special holler out to Clivers. Clivers was the he has put a lot of effort into the Paul Pluta channel, guys. Very secret surprise for you guys on the Paul Pluta channel. I am sending you a secret Clivers video explaining he's just taken a break. I've got a secret video coming out for you very soon. It's got everything. It's got a death wish in it. It's got everything. But on a serious note, Clive is cool. Me and Clive are cool. Tan, I want to tell you how you changed my life. Let's talk watches. I like to have some dreaming. You know, I think part of being a successful YouTuber, you need to channel your positive energy into goals. Do you believe in goals, Tan?
Absolutely. And watch goals are the best goals to have, my man.
Watch goals are the best goals to have. So for me, I got to be honest with you. I'm no longer flipping watches. I occasionally will sell a piece, but I'm not flipping and burning. It's not the art of the deal. It's I'm trying to build a collection. Now, I got to be honest with you. After I acquired the PAM, I kind of sat down and said, what the fuck else do I want? And you know what I want, Tan?
What do you want?
I got the world time. I don't want to sell the world time. I love my world time because I love those crown guards. I just love the world time. For me has been a goal. It's been a goal for so long. And I wanted to get a super watch. I want to get not just a standard watch. I want to get a super watch. I was thinking of maybe a Lange 1.
I still think the world time is a bit higher than the Lange 1, to be honest with you. I think, I mean, the world time is...
It is. This is a second watch.
A second super watch, okay.
Yeah. No. I'm keeping the world time's not for sale. Okay, the world time is not for sale, but I'm looking at a second watch. So I was thinking, what's a great second watch? I thought, you know, I already got a Patek. Wouldn't it be cool to have a Lange 1?
Yeah, Lange 1 was definitely classic.
Yeah, and I went to see a movie yesterday. Okay, I went to see a movie, a really great movie. It's what you Americans would call art house, you know, art house sort of movies.
Yep. Art movies, yep.
Well, it's not really an art house movie, but it's the closest what the Americans would consider to be. It's as close as what you Americans would consider to be a art house movie. So it's a movie set during World War II. It had a great American soldier there. I tell you what, actually, not an American officer. It was called the Guernsey Literary and Potato Peel Society. That's the name of the movie.
Not to be confused with the Society for Thin Dress Watches, right?
No, not to be confused. And anyhow, in this movie here, there's an officer who likes this, and he's not a cunt. He's actually quite a nice officer. You can tell he's got money. He's from a moneyed family. He gives this most beautiful diamond Art Deco engagement ring, which I thought was fucking gorgeous in platinum. I mean, that was expensive in World War II.
Yeah.
But the whole thing about this movie was it was about Guernsey. Guernsey was it's part of England, which was actually occupied by the Nazis. There wasn't many places that was actually British territory that got occupied by the Nazis, and this was occupied by the Germans. And it made me realize something. I can't get a Lange because the Germans were cunts.
Well, that was your original thing. I remember from back in the day, you used to have this policy about not getting Lange because of the Germans, what they did to your grandfather and whatnot.
I mean, you can get consumables. You can get German consumables. I can get a BMW or a Mercedes because those are consumables. They're not heirlooms.
Right.
They're like toilet paper. I mean, let's be honest. I mean, I know you love your M4, right?
I do.
But let's be completely frank and honest with you and say that, you know, the chance of it still being around in 50 years' time a fucking remote. Okay.
That's a fair point. And so you're
Because
saying
it's a disposable
Right.
item. Okay, it's a disposable because those Germans, they've used so much plastics in it. Eventually what'll happen is the electronics will go and you'll just say, fucking hell, you Nazis are bad. That's what'll happen.
So, okay, so given that, then you're saying, okay, you wouldn't get a Lange one. So
okay, so
what
I can't
else
get
would
a
you
Lange one. Okay.
So what are you considering else? You
In
haven't
the
gone
movie,
Vacheron. You haven't gone Vacheron in a long time. You used to have one. I remember back when you had the Trinity pieces together.
yeah, no. Look, I got to be honest with you, Vacheron. You got to have fucking rocks in your head to buy a modern Vacheron. Okay, either super rich, or I like the History's 1921. That's a cool watch. I like the Toledo, but
and the problem like with the Patrimony is like you got a Calatrava as an option over the Patrimony, so it just wouldn't be a viable option.
Yeah, but the truth is, the really cool Vacherons, they're fucking like, they're not $20,000 mark. See, for me, I'm sorry to say this to you, Tan, but $20,000 is a lot of money. Do you understand? Like for me, when I'm talking fuck off watch, I'm talking 20,000 Aussie. Okay, around the 20,000 mark. I'm not talking fucking 50 or 40. I mean, that's just 20 is pushing shit up a hill. Okay, I've got to finance it. I'm not when I say I'm thinking I've got to finance it, Tan, I'm financing it. Okay.
So what are you thinking? So Lange one's out the window. What did you get? So you were talking about the Guernsey movie. Like, what kind of a conclusion did you get to with that?
Okay, so anyhow, in the movie itself, they had a thing called the Trolls. They were called tolls. They were like slaves, German. They were Russian POWs. My grandfather was a toll. That's what he was. He was a slave. He used to dig trenches at the front line, thanks to the Germans.
Thanks to the Germans, yeah.
So I can't get a Lange one. So I've decided, right? Two pieces I really, really want, okay? A 15400.
Ooh, AP. The 40, and you're a fan of the 39. I'm surprised you'd consider the 41.
Well, the 15300 is expensive. It's more expensive than a 15400.
Yeah, I'm seeing serviced ones. I saw a serviced one and that's the thing, right? You have to get one that's serviced because they're getting a little old right now.
Yeah.
Last time I saw a serviced one, I was going for about 15.5 US. But I mean, realistically, a 15400 is around the same price.
Okay, let me just say this to you. When I'm talking money, we're talking about 20,000 Canadian. Okay.
Yeah.
So you know what fits that bill perfectly?
What are you thinking?
5196.
Ooh. That is the watch to have.
I got to be honest with you. The only criticism of my 5107 is that I don't really want a watch with a date. Hey, Jin, how are you?
How's it going?
Hey, not bad. We're discussing my dream watch. I'm going to get finance, hopefully in the next 12 months. Finance, okay? And I was just saying to Tan here, I can't get a Lange. I went and saw the movie, The Guernsey Literary and Potato Peel Society, and I realized I can't get a German watch. So I've actually narrowed my I want a really fuck off watch. And Tan said something very interesting. He said, what about like a really cool Vacheron? I said, look, Tan, the cool Vacherons I want are like $30,000 to $40,000. They're not 20,000 Canadian. Okay.
What kind of? No, there's some cool Vacherons for a good price.
I don't want. Hey, Dr. Bruce, $2 super chat. Fuck sucker horn is in the house.
Horn in the house.
Good day, mate. Good day, mate. Thank you. I got to tell you honestly, I'm thinking of I'm going to get finance. Okay, I'm going to get finance. Okay, I'm going to get the courage up, and I'm going to go and get a loan. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to get a loan. Okay.
That sounds like a terrible idea. Who's going to give you a loan with your income?
I'm looking at what they call a low doc loan. Low doc.
As in, like he's going to go call Dr. Bruce to give him a low interest loan. That's the low doc loan.
Low doc. Yeah. Now, look, I got to tell you seriously. Look, I got to be honest with you, completely honest with you. I don't want to spend. I'm looking at spending 20,000 Canadian, and I'm thinking Lange one could be a little bit more than that. And Lange service costs are really scary. I'm looking at two pieces that really blow me out of the water. Is the 15400 AP. Now I'm talking non-blue gray dial, so I'd either go silver, black, or white. And the other piece, which is really singing to me, is 5196. Because I got to tell you, you know, you said a few things that have changed my life, Tan. You said to me, you got the 5127. It's just so perfect. You want to wear it all the time. You don't care about any other things. Your life is complete. And I got to remember, I remember that exactly, Tan, that my life was complete when I had the, my life was complete when I had the 5107. I remember that exactly. That feeling you're talking about, it was a perfect watch for all occasions.
And I think a perfect complement to the World Time would be a 5196 Calatrava. I mean, that is the most classic and most best to the original 96 reference, right?
And the thing is, they're not super. They're kind of not hot at the moment. The Nautiluses and the Aquanauts are hot, so the dress watches are kind of a little bit on the outer. So I think you're going to get one at a reasonable price. When you say what color gold, rose gold, white gold, yellow gold, or platinum, well, the platinum is out. They're too expensive. It's whatever is a good deal. I don't care. I honestly, makes no difference what color. It'd probably be yellow gold because that's the least expensive. And I quite like yellow gold, to be honest with you. It doesn't really matter. I would love a rose gold one. That'd be my first preference, but it all depends on price. So I want to get a 5196. That's what I want to get. And I don't want a date. Okay, that's why I wouldn't get the 5196 or the 5127 because they're also a bit more money. And I want to keep it. I want to keep it around 20 Canadian.
What do you think? What do you think? 15400 or 5196?
Well, I just want to ask, why are you talking in Canadian dollars? Is that because you're
because both of us are Canadians? Like that's why.
Oh, okay. Well, it's basically the same as the Aussie dollar, but I was just wondering if
it's so that Tan can make donations to make this dream come true. You fool! You understand?
Well, Archie, you didn't know. Ving and I are going to the Richard Mille boutique tomorrow in Toronto, so we might be spending some cash there.
I got to tell you, Richard Mille, I got to tell you, I actually had I went to see a guy, you know, the super rich billionaire guy. He had a RM11, right? Which is a annual calendar chronograph.
Yeah.
They're about 100,000 US. And I got to be completely honest with you, it's an amazing watch. Richard Mille makes some amazing things. But I'd always go Patek. Sorry, that's just me.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I've already worked it out what watches I'm getting if my father died. I've already worked it out. What I'm hoping to do is I'm hoping to get finance and get a 5196, right? In the next 2 years. Well, before I'm 50. Okay, I'm 46. So before I'm 50. And then what I'd like to do is, if I got an inheritance from my old man, which is a big I'm thinking of getting a 5170. That'd be my super. That's it. 3 Pateks.
I'm considering a 5396 as my next one, actually.
What color? What color gold?
You know, the irony is I want to go rose gold, but the problem is I already have a rose gold.
So what? I think
I prefer the rose actually for the annual calendar.
$5 super chat from Ty S. We must secure the existence of our people and the future for European children. Thank you so much.
Canadian. He is Canadian, so that's why he's supporting the Canadians tonight.
I got to tell you the truth there. I honestly think the annual calendars look best. Annual or perpetual calendars look best in yellow gold or rose gold. I don't really like them in white. I think the white gold looks good on a simple complication. Like I think my 5107, it looked amazing in white. Okay.
Did Ving show you his pictures of him trying on Lange's in New York at all?
I'm not sure I showed the wrist shots, but the white gold 1815 up down was, my God, it's one of those watches you don't want to take off.
I got to tell you the truth there. I think Patek Calatrava is better than an 1815. Bear Clooney watches, $5 Canadian. Two watches that symbolize Archie to me are the 5107 Calatrava and the gold sub. Nothing else compares. Thank you, Bear Clooney. Bear Clooney's a really cool guy. Love Bear Clooney. Oh,
Yeah,
10-0. We started the 5196. We've got a fund going.
The thing is, Ving didn't say which one he preferred, and there's kind of two sides of the spectrum. You got a sports watch, and you got the classic dress watch. And I'm really, I think I know what Ving would choose, but I'm interested to know if he'd pick the 5196 over the 15400.
Oh yeah, I'd definitely go 5196. I mean, it'd be a little bit harder for me. It goes between 196 and the 15202. But I think the 15400 is a cool watch.
It's also a bit more expensive. I think it is at the moment. It is actually a bit more expensive than a 5196. No,
I think they're pretty similar, actually. Because 5196. No, you can like the white dial or like the black dial 15400s.
I got to tell you, Tan. I want to say this to you, Tan.
What's
the
up?
way you said it to me, you know, you got a 5127, right?
That's right.
The way you fucking said it to me, you said to me, it just feels perfect. I don't necessarily, I got to tell you, I've never felt that way about any other watch I've owned. Nothing has made me that happy in life.
And the irony is, I was watching your old videos of you with the 5107, and you know when you first got it, and you know a couple months afterwards and whatnot, and you know when you described it and you said, hey, like, you know, I really don't need anything else when I put this watch on, even though I'm having the worst fucking day ever. You know, you put the watch on, and you're like, it's just you don't need anything else at that point. So for me, you know, I was like, am I in the honeymoon period, or you know, is this really, you know, I'd had so many other watches. I've had a 15300, I've had a Nautilus 5711 blue dial, you know, and I bought some of those watches because of the hype, because of the people wanted, other people sought after those watches, kind of a thing. A lot of what's happening right now with the GMT Pepsi. But then when I went on the hunt for a Calatrava a few months ago, or a couple weeks ago, it was like, no, like I was on the hunt for this specific watch because I was like, this is the one I want. You know, and unfortunately, I had to offload a couple of pieces to get it. But you know, I specifically was looking. Yeah, I was like, you know what, these pieces, they're important, they're good pieces and whatnot, but you know, for me, I was on a mission and I was on the hunt for this watch, and since I've had it, like, you know, I wear it as often as I can, and you know, I look at it and I'm like, I don't really need anything else. Go ahead.
Can I say this? In all honesty, there's a big debate. What's better, the 5107 or the 5127? And I got to be honest with you, the only difference is the bezel is slightly splatter on the 5107, correct?
That's right. That's right.
So, I mean, look, basically, I think this is bullshit. When someone says the 5127 is so much better or the 5107 is so much, this is bullshit. It's just a slight little difference. It really is a bee's dick, okay?
Well, it's interesting. Ving tried on the 5227.
No, but that's a different animal. That's with
it is
back. I actually don't see that as a successor to the 5127. I think that hinged back, they're hideously expensive. And I got to be honest with you, I reckon you could really break that fucking very easily. That would be a bitch to fix.
Well, it's a very elegant, the hinge is extremely elegant, but I would assume it's not.
You know who has one? Paul Brittany has one. You know that?
Yeah.
You know Paul Bettany?
No.
You know, the famous actor. He's from.
Thing is like, absolutely not. I have no idea who that is.
He was in Margin Call. He's the cool,
yeah.
Cool guy in Margin Call. And in the GQ interview, he says he could always put a slither of cocaine in the back of the watch.
I don't think Ving's seen the officer's case back, and I don't think he's going to try to do lines off of the sapphire crystal covering the movement.
I think there are easier places to hide it than a more appropriate.
It's a joke. It's a joke. It's just a receipt for fuel for my Honda Civic. It's a receipt for my Honda Civic. Okay. Hey, guess what? I just got a fucking free waffle cone. Buy one, get one free.
Super chat $10 if you want Archie to take a line of baking soda. with his receipt.
Yeah.
Now I got to tell you, I've never felt so happy in my life when I owned the 5107. I actually sold a few things off too to get it. I had a Speedy. I sold my Speedy. I sold my Breitling Navi timer, and I sold a Datejust two-tone with diamond factory dial. It was so much money for me. Believe you me, it was. I tell you what, I paid for my 5107. I paid $12,250 in 09.
Wow.
And that was no box or papers. No box or papers. And I got to tell you, Tan, I don't know if you're considering getting the deployant clasp. You know, the deployant clasp.
I asked you about that. I asked, you know, do you think it's worth? And it's like Canadian. It's like $3,000.
I got to tell you the truth. You don't know something? I prefer the Tang. I have the deployant clasp on the World Time. And I got to be completely frank with you, it's a bitch. Okay, I prefer the Tang. You know why?
Why?
Okay, on the World Time, it's a 20 mil bracelet, right? 20 mil strap, right?
That's right.
It's 20 mil on the 5127 as well, right? But it tapers down. It tapers down. Dr. Bruce, $2 super chat. Officer, I swear he said it was baking soda. Thank you. Now, I got to tell you, it actually tapers down to 14 mils. Did you know that on the strap? And I think the strap actually looks a bit too small.
Yeah, so on the 5127, it tapers down to 16, I believe.
16 mils, yeah. That's exactly right. And I got to tell you, for comfort, for actually wearing it, you're always
$10 super chat.
$10 super chat. Neo, hello, humanity. I'm glad to see all the friends here today at the gym, so I'm just going to listen. Thank you, Neo. I got to tell you, I'm always scared when you wear the fucking deployant clasp. If I thumped my wrist down, I would fucking smash the gold. You
know, interesting.
Be very careful.
You're absolutely right. When I tried on the deployant clasp with Patek, $10 super chat, trying to decide new Tudor GMT or 2001 Rolex GMT Master 16710, no box, no papers. What do you think, Archie?
No brainer. Go for the fucking GMT2, the 16710, no box or papers. The Tudor is a great thing, but a Rolex is a Rolex. And I think investment-wise, those GMT, the 16710s are going to go up in price. I can't see them falling. Okay?
Ving, what do you think?
I agree 100%.
Yeah, not that the Tudor's bad. The Tudor is a great watch, but definitely grab.
It's interesting because Mark Yusupov today said in Fist, he was saying, well, you know, I got an option to get a Tudor GMT for my AD, and it was like, and he had just bought like an $85,000 Patek from them, like a rose gold Nautilus, and everyone's like, dude, like, you know, if they're offering you a GMT, a Tudor GMT, you should tell them to fuck off and give you the Rolex GMT if you just spent 85 grand with them.
That is very true.
Very, very good point there.
We got a $5 super chat from Ty S.
Yes.
The receptivity of the masses is very limited. Their intelligence is small, but their power of forgetting is enormous. Adolf Hitler.
Keep Clive off the channel because now Clive is gonna be concerned about his professional reputation.
Clive, we ended very good on Clive. I've actually got a video I am uploading as we speak to this is a video from Clive. He's addressing why he's leaving. And I got to tell you guys, it's Clive and me are good friends. We're very good friends. He's taking a break. Man, that's okay. That's okay. It's no problems. We're all good friends. And Clive made me a lot of money. I must confess, I paid for the Monaco with Clive. So, hey, there is no bad feeling, okay?
The deployant class we were talking about, like Ving, on the JLC 976 UOP, I think the JLC deployants are just, they're solid. They're very, very good deployants. When I tried on the Patek deployants when I had the JLC, like it was night and day difference in terms of like, you know, quality.
Can I tell you a story, Tan, about Patek deployant clasps?
Sure.
I got a friend of mine who's got a 5110P. That's the platinum world time.
Yep.
And this is what scares the fuck out of me. It's why I'm so careful with the clasp. The logo popped out of the clasp.
Wow. Really?
And they wanted thousands to replace it. And he said, "Why can't you?"
And that's this. Is it the white gold or the platinum? You said
Platinum, platinum, platinum.
Ooh, crazy.
And he kind of had a go at them and said, "Why do I have to replace it? Can't you just solder it back in?"
You got a $10 super chat here, Archie, from Dan Radke. What types of questions should I be asking when purchasing a GMT Master 2? Loom shot, is bezel original, etc.
Yeah, I would say the most important thing when you're buying a GMT2 is the dial a service dial or not. I think that's number one. What do you reckon, Tan and Jin?
If it's a 16-7-10, I mean, I don't know if they're gonna have service dials at this point on those watches. I mean, it could be. It could be a situation where they had to service the watch and have to replace the dial. But I'd be looking for a movement shot. I want to at least open that up. You know, make sure that it's a legitimate Rolex movement. The loom shot, probably not. I mean, I don't know.
No, loom doesn't matter. I mean, you don't buy that for loom, okay? You're not buying that for loom.
So like when you talk about GMT Master 2, it's really, you know, are you referring to a brand new 16-7-10? You know, how far back are you going? If it's a newer one, yeah, I'd be making sure that the movement's correct. The movement's actually, it's not a fake.
And I would also say, look, it would be preferable to have the original bezel, even if it's got patina on it. That's better than, you want to make sure it's not an aftermarket insert. And if possible, I'd try and get a replacement one, but keep the original. Keep the original insert.
Yeah, like when I had my 16-7-10, I went to Rolex. I had a Coke initially, and then I went to the Rolex AD. And I asked, can I get other inserts? And they were like, yeah, no problem. We'll order you want a Pepsi? We'll order you one, no problem. And they didn't ask for my insert back or anything. They just, you know, they said as long as it was OEM on the watch when it was released, you could get, you know, any part, whether it was the insert or even a Jubilee bracelet for that matter.
Exactly. So I mean, look, I would very much. I think the most important thing to do is if you're getting a GMT. The dial, you want to make sure the dial's not a service dial. The other thing is you want to make sure the case hasn't been polished, over-polished. I've seen a lot of those 90s watches now have been badly polished. You don't want to lose. You don't want to lose those corners.
Dr. Bruce, $2. GMT2, swap Coke and Pepsi every week like the Strangler.
I would be very careful swapping the bezel insert all the time because you're going to fuck it up. Okay, just do it once if you want it. Don't keep fucking. It's not interchangeable like a tie. This is, you're going to fuck it up by keep changing it.
All right, the super chats are coming in. Jeff Hoffman, $5. Two-piece combo deal, 126300 blue dial Jubilee steel for dress and 114060 for casual. Thoughts?
Oh,
you're talking a no date sub and a Datejust.
I think that's a perfect combo meal deal. I think that is perfect. Absolutely perfect. Can't get better than that. What do you reckon?
What do you think, Feng?
I don't know. I'm not convinced of a 41 Datejust 41 as a dress watch. I think you might as well go get a real dress watch. Get one in precious. Get one in white gold.
But so usable, but you can do everything with it. There's no bracelet, there's no leather strap to worry about. It's not delicate. You can
right. I mean,
you can clean the urinal out whilst wearing it.
You can get he has a sub for that. I mean, why not get something a little different?
Senior Bell 67 is scaring me with his super chat, but
yeah, I know. I can't see what's the thing with the boobs.
Yeah.
The boobs.
He's like, Arch, I need to see boobs. Take off your shirt.
Like, yeah.
I don't know.
Need a bit more than $1.99.
Yeah, I would pay $1.99 not to see them.
I got to be completely honest with you. I think the Datejust 41 is absolutely perfect. I think it's perfect. I think the proportions
at one point in time, Archie, you used to make videos where, you know, you would say that the Datejust is the most versatile watch out there.
Yeah.
You know, so this guy's looking for a compact collection of two watches. You know, like you said, Datejust, great for dress, can be dressed down. And then, you know, the sub for sports. I mean, I don't see anything really wrong with that collection because you get a lot of versatility out of the Datejust.
Oh, it's a perfect two-piece combo. You got two Rolexes, so your money's very safe, right?
Yeah.
You've got a sub, which is your diver. You've got the Datejust for work use. Man, it's fucking... That's like having a... Let me put this into normal context. It's like having a C-class Mercedes, which is the Datejust, and a Porsche Boxster as your sub.
You know what video cool? I was watching one of your videos earlier. So I like to watch the older videos. And you were talking about your 3944 Patek and your quartz Patek. This was the hobnail bezel.
33 mil.
For a second there, you're looking like you forgot about that watch. And it's funny because you did a video a long time ago about like what to avoid when collecting. And, you know, quartz was a big thing. You said avoid quartz, even if it's Patek, even if it's Rolex, just avoid it. But then you admitted saying, I used to own a 3944 hobnail, and you got it for a really good price. I was actually interested to know how much you actually got it for, because they're actually trading right now for like 7-8 grand.
You know, I actually owned that watch twice.
Really?
I bought it. I was in Thailand. I bought it. And then I sold it because I thought, shit, I've overpaid on it. I paid about $3.5 US for it at the time. I sold it to a guy in Australia, and then I bought it back off him. I bought it back off him about 5 years later.
And why did you do that? Why would you go back for it?
The funny thing is, you know, when I owned it, the 3944 is a very special watch. Warren Buffett has one, by the way. I don't know if you know that. Warren Buffett has a 3944. When I lusted after, because it was just so quirky. Like, it's kind of like having an automatic Ferrari. It's like a Ferrari 400i. Like, it's a Ferrari.
We got one more super chat here from Senior Bell. Sorry. Arch, it is obvious Clive is mad at you over money.
No. Me and Clive, I've just, by the way, I've just released the video on the Poor Pluta channel. Clive explains what the hell is happening. There you go. The video has just been released. Don't tune out now, guys. Go and look at it after we finish.
And Bear Clooney watches is saying, love the old Archie videos. And I have to agree with him. I think if you look back and you look at the old, you have the Best of Archie Luxury channel. And I like to watch those videos where, you know, you talk about, you know, a bunch of different watches. That's why when the 3944, I was interested to know the actual story behind it. And the fact that I bought it twice.
I tell you what happened. I bought it in Thailand, right? I just bought it because it was so wrong. I love doing things that are just so wrong, you know, because it's a quartz Patek, you know what I mean? But it's very well finished, and I did love it. I sold it because I gave way to all peer pressure. Peer pressure is a very powerful thing. It actually hurt me. The peer pressure overwhelmed me, and I sold it because everyone said, why would you buy a Patek? People who knew what a Patek was, like, normally say, oh, nice watch. Oh, it's a Patek. Oh, it's a Patek. Hang on a minute, it's quartz. They would say, why would you buy a quartz Patek? So anyone who knew what a Patek was, the second question was, why the fuck would you buy the quartz one? That was always how the conversation went.
So we got a $10 super chat from Barry BKT. Hi guys, I'm looking at a Rolex 1665. So that's the Sea Dweller. He says it's a 1978 and he wants 17K. Is it pretty good? Is it pretty good condition? I think he means it is in pretty good condition. Nice patina. Is it worth it?
As long as the dial's original and the case hasn't been polished to shithouse, I think it's a good investment. But you don't buy these things. If you really, really always wanted one, buy it. Don't buy it just because you think it's a good. I think that model. I've actually owned a 1665, and I've owned a 1655s. I just flicked them very quickly. Yeah, it was stupidity. Very stupid man I was. I reckon they're cool. But you've got to have wanted it. It's like wanting. It's like buying a 5196. You've got to have really, really wanted it and lusted after it for so long, then you can buy it. If you just think it's cool to buy it, well, that's the wrong reason for buying it. You've got to have really wanted it. What do you think, guys?
I would be extremely careful. Any of these 4-digit sport Rolexes it's a minefield out there. It's very dangerous. Lots of nasty fuckers out there who want to cheat you. And some people who are not even nasty fuckers, but they bought the watch from a nasty fucker who cheated them. So I would say just be extremely careful. Ask as many questions as you and show the pictures to people you trust and you know.
This is the problem with vintage. This is the problem with vintage.
Yeah, and at that price, guys, I'm looking at like what HQ Milton has at 18 or you know, around that 17 range, and you got loom that's flaking off of the hands on some of these, and you know, so 17 is a bit of a suspect price range, so could be service style. You know, really, that's what you really need to look for. All the money, like Archie ever said, was it's in the dial. When you're talking about vintage, watch a 4-digit reference Rolex. It's all the money's in the dial. So, you know, you got to ask every single question. And not only, you know, is it a service dial, but even if it's an original dial, for example, have the markers been painted to match the hands, for example, that affects the value, right? And a lot of different things in the dial itself can significantly change it from being, you know, and there's all different kinds, right? There's, I think even the 1665s had rail dials, I believe. There's different models of them. There's Mark 1, 2, 3, 4.
And actually, it was the double red and the great white both had the same reference number. So there's a ton of 1665 dial varieties out there.
Yeah, I don't think this is a double red at 17.
Yeah, 78 would be great white or big white, whatever you call it.
$5 super chats come in from Ty. Yes, when buying high value watches, best not to deal with any Steens or Bergs. I don't think that's true. What do you guys think?
I would buy vintage from anybody that's reputable and that has. I mean, I had a 1680 red sub.
Yeah. What are they going for at the moment? 1680 red sub.
They've gone up in price a lot. I bought mine for, I think it was 17,000 Canadian, so call that 13, 14 US back then. They've gone up significantly, and this was back like when and this is back when you used to say getting the white 1680 was worth it because they were undervalued. Even those have fucking gone up as well. I'm looking at 1680 reds right now. I mean, you're looking, the cheapest 1680 red on the market right now, I believe, is like 16 to 17,000 US. So it's definitely gone up at least $3 or $4 grand US.
We missed one super chat from Jason Moniz, $10. Hi guys, so I got Paul's opinion on this question. Now I'd like your guys' opinion. $4,000 US, which model watch, new or used? Thanks.
Ooh.
My answer is very simple. Explorer 1, fuckers.
Can you get that for $4?
Some models. It's not hard. 14,270, you can get them 4,000 anytime.
You know what? I'm gonna stay in the same model range, but I'm gonna go with Explorer 2 16570, which you can get at 4,000 as well. It's gonna be tough, but you can find them at 4,000. I mean, Explorer 2, you get the GMT function. You know, you're gonna have you have a sports case. You got a larger size than that Explorer you're gonna get at what, 36 mil at that price. I don't think you're gonna get a 39 mil at that price.
Now, if you're going to buy new Black Bay Heritage Tudor, yes, no? If you had to buy new.
Yeah. I mean, you got that. You have, I don't know what the Speedy prices are in American.
I mean, Joma Shop, you could definitely get it.
Yeah.
Retail.
Personally, I'd go Speedy over Tudor.
Oh, you would? The Speedy is a fantastic watch. The only problem is with the Speedy, I find that for newbies, they don't understand manual wind. They say, you mean I've spent all this money and you've got to wind it up? You don't get that problem with 5170 Patek customers, by the way. They appreciate what the fuck it is. And you also get people, you mean I spent all this money and it's not waterproof? They think by spending big money, it's going to be waterproof and it's going to...
Yeah, but I mean, someone looking at a Tudor is most likely going to be someone who wants to be into collecting or want to get into collecting. So, you know, you got a Tudor Black Bay, which is a cool watch, but then you got the Moon watch, which is the iconic chronograph.
Oh, there's no question of that. It's probably the most iconic sports watch with the Submariner. What do you think?
I'm looking for you. I'm looking at you, Ving. I'm interested to know what you think of this one.
I think it might be more iconic than the Sub.
Oh.
I have almost but everybody knows what a Speedmaster is. Granted, the Sub is also a very popular watch, but I think that the Speedmaster might be more iconic than the Sub. And for me, $4,000, I would go. I'd go a little off the beaten path. I'd get a Planet Ocean, or I'd get a North Flag, Tudor North Flag.
You're really sticking to that Explorer theme, aren't you, with the North Flag?
The North Flag is a really cool watch. It's modeled after the Rolex 1530, which I believe was used on the Antarctic expedition. It's a, you know,
the Explorer before it was the Explorer.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's sort of the that I like anymore.
And looking at that old video, Archie, you know, in that video you have a Navitimer as well. So you've gone and picked your Super Ocean as your Breitling of choice, but you used to love the Navitimer. So I'm interested to know, like, kind of what happened with the Navitimer and how you fell out of love with the Navitimer to not choose it as your one only Breitling.
Look, I got to tell you this: the thing that happened with Breitling was I originally came into the brand by buying things that were good bang per buck. I was a little bit of a watch trader, so I bought the Navitimer because it was cheap. I bought a old Navitimer too, so this is sort of late 90s, early 2000s, you know, with the old Navitimer. It had the date at the three position, okay? So the eyes were 6, 9, and 12, okay? That's what they call it, the old Navitimer, okay? Old Navitimer 2, which even though it was a new watch with a 7750 value movement in it. So what happened was I started. Then I sold that because I got the 5107. I just needed the money to pay for that. It was such a big purchase at the time for me. Then I got a steel fish. I had a couple steel fishes, went and sold. And then I got the Breitling catalog and said, what the fuck would I buy if I wasn't just short of money? If I actually had big money to spend, what the fuck would I buy that I like? So I went through the catalog and I thought, you know something? I love the Navitimer with the B01 movement. And I also love the Super Ocean Heritage, which is like a reissue. I love that watch because it's got no crown guards. Because I've become a real connoisseur of crown guards. I love the crown guards on the 5107 because it's so unusual. Whereas on my sports,
and the
Exactly. I love the crown guards, but on my sports watches, I like to defy the trends. So I want no crown guards on my sports watches, but I want crown guards on my dress watches. Does that make sense? Complete lunacy. But I love the look of the Rolex would never bring out a no crown guard sub. That's why I love the Tudor Heritage so much, because it's a Submariner with no crown guards. I love no crown guards in a sports watch. It's just so funky. And I got to tell you, I think the Super Ocean, looking through the catalog, if money was no object, you just say, what the fuck would you buy? And that's that type of watch. That's why I thought, you know, I don't need to get the chronograph. It doesn't need to be the chronograph. I would buy the Super Ocean because it's just beautiful. Because I could have easily said go for a Super Ocean chronograph, but I thought, no. I want something true to form. It came out in the 50s. It's just a beautiful. And I'd also prefer the 42 mil. I think 42 mil is way large enough. It doesn't need to be 46. That's just, I deliberately really wanted 42 mil super. So it was basically when I started looking at watches, instead of saying, what's a cheap bargain? I started saying, what do I really fucking like? And I got to tell you, the first watch I ever did that, instead of saying what's cheap and what's affordable, was my Patek 5107. That's not an affordable Patek. In fact, it's pretty shitty value. You can get a lot better watches than a 5127 or a 51. They're fucking expensive. For what they are expensive, okay? But it's not about buying the cheapest Patek. It's just fucking beautiful. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. On that note, Archie, I got to run. I'm going to let Ving take the reins.
No worry. Hey, it's been fantastic having you on here, Tan. Thank you so much. And if Clive, everything's cool. Me and Clive are great friends. Everything's great. So thank you so much there. We got Barry, BKT. Thanks, guys. I'm going to stay clear. You brought up a lot of very good questions. Probably just saved me a lot of money. Best $20 I've ever spent. Thank you. PS, great show tonight. Thank you so much, Barry, BKT. And Jin, it's me and you.
It's just you and me.
What do you think? 519. You love the 5196. Actually, you're the first person who actually planted the seeds for me to get a 5196. You said 5196. Yeah, you love that watch.
Oh, it's a beautiful watch. I mean, that's the true descendant of the original Calatrava, right? It's the modern.
That's right. The 96. That was the 96. What can you get a 5196 for? What's the cheapest you can get one for?
You can get rose gold or white gold starting at about 15. I mean, you might have to hunt a little for 15. That's not like a dealer, like an open dealer price, but you can get it for about that price.
Is yellow gold cheaper or more dearer?
I'm not honestly sure. I don't see too many yellow gold ones come up for sale. They're mostly white gold or rose gold.
I don't think anything's wrong with any of those colors, to be honest with you.
All are fine. And, you know, yellow gold is a classic color. I think with such a classic watch, I think yellow gold is a very fitting metal.
Oh, but the guru said no one wants yellow gold. Don't buy. It's a dud. Didn't a very big collector did say that? Yellow gold. Oh, you wouldn't touch that. Nobody wants yellow gold. It's bullshit. Yellow gold is what gold is. Yellow gold will always be in.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, yellow gold is, you know, rose gold I think will come in and out of style to some extent. White gold is going to be, is always going to have its admirers. But I think to most people, when they think of gold, they think yellow gold.
What are you lusting after yourself? You've done something very interesting. The 596 Reverso you've got, I think, is classic. That is a beautiful. Is that a keeper forever? Tell me honestly.
I'm not sure. I mean, I know. Look, I'm gonna have I would love to have a Reverso in my collection forever. I'm not sure it will be the 976. I love it. I think it's a great sporty watch, and I tend to lean towards less sporty watches. That's just my personal taste. But it's a sporty watch, but it's on a leather strap, which is a nice mix.
The watch snob said it's the ultimate dress watch.
Did he?
You know, the watch snob.
I think I personally consider it a little bit too big to be a dress watch, and I would wear something a little bit smaller. And I would prefer, for me, a dress watch would be white gold. It would be in an extremely elegant size, like 37 millimeters. So like a 5196E would be just about the perfect dress watch, in my opinion.
Very, very interesting conversation there. The only other thing is, instead of getting a 5196, what do you think of getting a 215 based watch, like a gondola or something like that? Would you do that?
If you like it, I mean, the gondolas are very good bang per buck because, you know,
just very quickly, super chat here, Ty S. Arch, do you know if Mark Goldberg keeps his watches in a satchel made from the foreskins of 666 gnomes for safekeeping when traveling? Very interesting question. No, he keeps them in the back of his Ford Exploder.
Yes. Yes, he does.
He keeps them in the back of his Ford Exploder next to the dog shit cleanup stuff in the back. Yeah.
You know, the sorry, what were we? Oh yeah, the Reverso. I think, you know, the Reverso is a.
We were talking about gondolas. Would you get a gondola? What do you think of the gondolas?
rectangular watches, the appeal is always going to be limited. I mean, even the Reverso, which is such an icon and so beloved, I think even that has limited appeal. Not everybody likes the Reverso. I think once you start moving away from round watches, it gets a little, you know.
You know what, Patek, I loved for a long time. I actually, before I got the 5107, I actually wanted a 5009.
Yeah.
And that's very Art Deco numerals.
Yeah.
I went for the 5107, which I think I made the right choice. I think the 5107 was a better watch, but yeah. I did love. The funny thing is, you know, the Patek Ladies, the 24, it's actually based on a gondola. It's a gondola. That's what it is. It's a gondola. Yeah. It's a ladies' gondola. That's what it is.
I think 24 is a magnificent watch. I think it's absolutely beautiful.
The ladies' 24. You know why I sold the one I did, besides the fact I got divorced and I needed the money?
Oh, there was another reason?
Yeah, I got to be honest with you, right? They use a fucking plastic insert to keep the movement in place.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean that's
fucking tacky. That's tacky, don't you think, or not? A plastic insert for something that's so expensive.
Yeah, I mean that's worse than Cartier because we're talking at a price point that's even multiple times Cartier, and even at the Cartier level, it's not acceptable. I mean, this is still
Cartier does it. Cartier's done it for many years.
Yeah, yeah. I mean that is disappointing. Although you could argue, I mean, as far as horological value, the 24 is not exactly good value. It is,
but it is fucking. I got to tell you, it is a fucking hot watch. Like you put that on a sexy woman, right?
Oh yeah,
fucking gorgeous. I think it's just an icon in the ladies' watches. It's just an icon, and you know, the funny thing is, Patek themselves, in the early 2000s, they really didn't have a big selling ladies' watch. They had a ladies' Calatrava, but that was about it. They didn't really have any great. Patek was really just a men's brand, and Patek has done so many things for ladies in the last 20 years. They've moved ahead leaps and bounds. Like they've even got a fucking annual calendar for ladies. You know that, and a world time for ladies.
Although, I mean, I think that for women's ladies' watches, it's all about the 24. I mean, it's like the others are just they're there, but you know how many women actually buy them, or how many men actually buy them for their wives.
Exactly. I always loved Cartier. You'd buy the solid gold Cartier for your wife and the musty Cartier for the mistress. It's so French, isn't it?
Musty Cartier is kind of I really it's really sad what they did to Cartier. Cartier was a very, very high-end brand back in like the 60s. It was very present.
You know, the ladies' Cartier I had a New York tag. Yeah. It had an Audemars Piguet movement in it.
Yeah,
that's what it did. Yeah. That was factory correct. Yeah. Or AP movement in it. I mean, fuck, they didn't just go to ETA. They went to fucking AP and said, we want a movement.
Yeah, and well, actually, funny you say that because it was Cartier New York which first released, which was the first of the three Cartier Maisons to release a gold-plated watch. And at that time, it was a huge scandal because, you know, Cartier was not even a remotely affordable brand. This was a very, very elite brand. And they were releasing a gold-plated watch to sell more units. And but they did make some magnificent pieces as well back then.
And don't forget, those three Masons, New York, Paris, and London, were three separate entities completely.
Yes, they were. Yep. They had to go and bring all the ownership together and, you know, what they have to do and like buy
good
them.
Question here. Eddie LTU, Jin, what car do you have? I want to know this too. What do you have?
I live downtown and I'm on the road all the time, so I don't even have a car.
What was your last car you had? Let's answer.
I walk to work, so I don't need.
What did you have before when you did have a car?
I had a 3 Series.
What 3 did you have exactly?
I had well, I've had them like throughout my like like my first car was an E46, and then I had an E90, and then I had another E90, which was, they're actually like pieces of shit. I really don't like them, but I hung on to that. I hung on to one of them for a really long time because, as you said, it's those naturally aspirated straight sixes. They don't make them anymore.
No,
new ones.
No.
Which is neat. Although the new ones are okay.
Thai S, $5 Canadian. People are reading Culture of Critique. Spread the word.
Okay.
Culture of Critique. Well, okay, thank you. I got to tell you, I had an E30. That is a cool Beamer.
That's what I've always wanted one.
And you know what the sad thing is? When I had the E30, I bought it just as the E46 came out. I was kicking myself for not getting an E46. Because the E36. I mean, the E36 is so dated and ugly. The E30 is a fucking icon.
E30 is sexy. The E36 is kind of like, it's like
cheesy.
Kind of, it's pretty. It's one of the ugliest versions. A 2002. I mean, that is a real.
That's a very cool. That's a cool Beamer.
That's the one I would want. I actually saw someone at a parking lot one time who had one. It was absolutely beautiful. I mean, it didn't open the hood or anything, so I don't know exactly what was going on. But I was like, I was like pestering him about how much he would sell it for. I'm like, how much would you sell it for? How much would you sell it for? Like, I'll pay you like today if it's we can go to the mechanic and we'll check it out, and I'll pay you today if you want to sell it. And no, he didn't give in. So it must have been really nice then. You know, he must have put money into it and really liked it.
Chin, we better wrap this baby up. Thank you so much for coming on. This has been a great show. And let's keep talking watches. So thank you so much.
Like, subscribe, tell your fuckhead friends.
And don't forget to put a few really nasty comments down below.